Hello, dear students. Today we are going to an continuation of our previous class, that is substation equipments, the isolators, second part. Let us introduce myself. My name is Dr. C.H. Yadaya, Senior Lecturer in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Government Polytechnic, Husnabad. Today topic we are going to cover switchgear and protection regarding to the 5th semester EE 504A C18 scheme. So today topic is the classification of switchgear and fuses. So let us see the classify switchgear and fuses. Last class we have seen the classification of isolators based on location and purpose, the physical structure. For the single break, double break, pantograph, MCB isolators we have seen. Next, based on the line where we are going to place location, today we are going to study the isolators. In addition to that one, today we are going to cover air brake switch, AB switch, generally used in case of 11 kV DTR, and at the same time we are going to cover load brake switch. That is a new developed switch. Generally it can interrupt the load at any current by using some new techniques. Let us see so one by one in details. On completion of this topic, you would be able to know classification of isolator based on location, introduction to air brake switch, salient points of an AB switch, operation of AB switch, introduction of load brake switch and its operation. Let us see one by one. Now, before going to our subject, as we know that a simple circuit consists of a source and load. Source is a supply, load is a passive circuit, passive load. To connect source to load, we required some switching equipment as well as protective equipments. In domestic, if you are observing in our daily life, whether the fan controlled or light controlled, in our houses we are using one switch as well as fuse. Similarly, you can see in low and medium voltage circuits, generally we can use the different type of the switchgear and protective equipments. In domestic, as I said, first here is the source. When switch is opened, circuit is not completed. At that condition, current will not flow. Voltage exists, but current always flows whenever the circuit is closed condition. So the switch is operated by manual or automatic or remote. Now I want to close the switch. What will happen? You can see when I close the switch, the current is flowing through the load, and the load is intended to give light energy, it is giving. This is a simple circuit, and how the current is passing through this one, it is a combination of this one. Now this is a simple circuit. Now let us see in case of in our substation where it can manage a high voltage and high range of currents. Then so how to control those values. In substation we are going to control in different states, different stages. Every stage we are going to control, measure the value, control the value and maintain the value in a pre-described value. If anything goes wrong, then automatically we are going to interrupt the supply to safeguard of operator as well as our equipments. Let us see, this is a one circuit. Now, so here also you can observe what will happen if in the circuit, if some fault occurred in the line from positive to negative at any place, automatically our fuse will blow first of all. Then thereby no current from source coming to the leakage to the ground. So that is a protective equipment used in our simple circuit. Fuse is a protective circuit, switch is a controlling circuit. By combination of this, we are going to protective our domestic appliances, whereas in our power system, in our distribution system, the current and voltages are hundreds of amperes. How to control? Even sometimes you can observe in switch less than 5 amperes lighting load itself, it will give some spark inside the switchboard. Less than 1 ampere. If the line which is carrying hundreds of amperes at high voltages, if suddenly chopped, then it develops, it creates a large amount of the arc. The arc may consist of a high temperature degrees, that may be above 3000 degrees centigrades. This temperature easily melt the contacts of both sides. So what will happen? So next we are going to replace that equipment. That is the disadvantages. So for that purpose in substation, so by using the latest technology, we are using a latest switchgear and protective equipment, and even by using those equipments, so we are going to, some media is used to nullify the arc whenever it arises. So those medias are, it may be oil, it may be oil, it may be air blast, it may be vacuum, it may be SF6 gas. So those we can study in the next chapters. Now let us first of all, here a simple circuit. I think you have some idea what is simple circuit. Now coming to our substations where the circuits are complicated. Now let us see. So this is a single line diagram of a substation where incoming line is coming from the generating station. You can see the figure, it is a thermal power station where it generates a electrical energy. That energy has to be transmitted to here load, a small house. So it is passing hundreds of kilometers. Now what is happening? So this, whatever the energy generated, that is transmitted to a long distance, and it is once again converted to low voltage, and that is given to the consumer. During this process, the transmission line, it controlled at a different stages. For example, in case of a receiving station where nearby urban city, here you can see one substation, a model substation where incoming line is coming. So before line entering, so it is connected to the lightning arrestor, the protective equipment. After that, so here I used the one isolator, that is we are going to learning, and after that there is current transformer, CT and circuit breaker. After that it is connected to the bus bar, and after that it is once again it is connected to the isolator, CT CB and isolator. Next, input is given to the power transformer, where this transformer intended to step down the voltage. That here in this substation, the transformer is a costly equipment. Our aim is to protect this costly equipment from short circuit currents, from lightning and different reasons. So here the high voltage can be controlled by using our relays and circuit PTs and CTs, but the lightning discharge is a very high range of voltage and current that can be protected by using our lightning arresters. It is placed at both sides, at primary side and the secondary side. It is a bodyguard to transformer. After that, so whatever the voltage step down, that is once again given to the isolator, CT, CB and isolator, and is given to the common bus. Let us assume this common bus is a station transformer, where the voltage is stepped down to the single phase 230 volts, and you can see the one animation how input is coming and how this input is controlled at different stages in a substation. Let us see here the income is coming. So the current is coming up to circuit breaker, where circuit breaker now in the open position. Now whatever the incoming voltage is coming and stopped at circuit breaker. After circuit breaker, now circuit breaker is closed, then it will goes to the next stage, bus bar as well as the next circuit breaker. Once again I want to close the circuit breaker, then what will happen? So it will goes to the primary of transformer, PTR. Then whatever the primary voltage, that may be 220 kV, 132 kV, and whatever the voltage that is stepped down to the, whether it is a 33 kV voltage in secondary side. After switching this automatically step down the voltage, then it will goes to the circuit breaker once again. Now you can see the incoming is a red color star and secondary voltage is a blue color star. That means the red color is a small one, that is a low current, and whereas the secondary is a high current, whereas the voltage is a less, current is a more. In primary side the voltage is a more, the current is less, as you know that. Now in this case, after whatever the secondary voltage is coming, and I am going to connect the bus bar. So what to do? I have to close the circuit breaker, and once I close the circuit breaker, the current is passing through the bus bar and is connected to the load, where load is glowing, it is a working. This is a simple operation in a substation. That means to glow the bulb. So what are the stages here? First, we are going to control before the bus bar incoming line at circuit breaker. After that, once again before the PTR. After that, we are going to connect after the PTR, and next we are going to give the supply to the station transformer. In addition to the circuit breaker, we are also used to assist the circuit breaker. This is a isolator. What is isolator? Isolator is a mechanical device which can operated under no load condition only. Whenever the circuit breaker is open condition, then we have to open the isolator to isolate a portion of circuit where we are going to intended for repair purpose. This is the main thing already we have seen. Now let us see the classification of isolators. Last class we have seen the few isolators. Now let us see these isolators generally used in our substations, where we are going to use the isolator based on the location, whether we are going to use, whether it is a incoming, whether you are using the bus bar, whether you are using the different the bus system. So, based on the place we can set classification the isolators. Let us see. Now, what is happening here? Before that one, you have to see it. So, opening sequence of isolator. So, you know the isolator and how to operate. We know it is a mechanically operated by the operator, or we can operate by remotely by using motor, universal motor. Now, so what is the sequence? Because it is intended to operate under no load condition only. Whenever the current is passing through the zero current, then it has to operate. Otherwise, there is a large amount of the spark may be appear, and that melt the total contacts as well as total damage to the substation. So, before operating that one, we have to ensure that the circuit breaker should be open condition. So, for here you can see, so for opening sequence of isolator when to open. So, we have to ensure that now under this condition, what is happened? Circuit breaker is closed condition. That means the current is flowing, the current is on the line. That means the isolator may not be operated at this condition. Now, I want to open I have some minor problem at the CT which is connected nearby CB. So, I want some maintenance, then I have to stop the current by forcefully interrupting the circuit breaker. Then circuit breaker is opened. Then what will happen? Whatever the current is stopped because circuit is open and the voltage exists. So, I cannot operate the mechanism in the CT. Then the CT should be isolate. Then under this line no current is flowing. Then I can operate the isolator. Then isolator is operated. Now it is open. Now CT is a both side. It is open. So whatever the charging currents, whatever the induction currents on the lines in between the CB and isolator, that can be diverted to the ground by using the earth rods. Then I can start the maintenance. After maintenance work is over, then once again I want to restore the supply. Then what is the sequence now? So let us see that is also. Closing sequence of isolator. Now the both isolator as well as the CB switch is open, no current is flowing, then so everything is cleared. Line clear also, LC is also given return. Then I want to restore the supply. Then what should we do? So whether I close the isolator or CB. So that means, so in this case, in the previous case, so reverse operation we have to do here. Now, so I am firstly, so I have to close the isolator. Now I close the isolator. Then even then the current is not coming. Why? Because circuit breaker is open. Now close the circuit breaker, then current is passing. This is a sequence of operation of isolator. It should be followed. So what is the sequence with circuit breaker? That is a thing already we have seen last class. Now let us see, so classification of isolators. So isolators already we have seen the classification of isolators. Electrical isolators classified into based on application, based on placement. Based on application, we have seen single break type isolator, double break type isolators, pantograph isolators, MCB isolators. So last class we have seen that is at the time of closing and opening, only arc or break takes place in a line only at one place, that is known as single break. If the break takes place at twice, double break, by connecting the center limb, we have to rotate the center limb. So it will connect either primary side, that is the starting input and output, at both sides there is a possible to arc, that is the double break. Pantograph isolators, already we have seen, it can be used in 400 kV substations where less space is available. At the same time, this pantograph isolator also used in case of electric trains. And MCB isolator generally used in domestic appliances and offices, small industries. So what are the different categories? What are its applications? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Last class we have seen. Now let us see the remaining thing, the isolators classified based on placement. So what are the placements now? So here, based on the bus side isolator, transfer bus side isolator and line side isolators. That means isolator where you are going to install, whether it is on by bus, in between the bus, in between the line, or you are going to place in the transfer bus. What do you mean by the transfer bus? We know that the buses are two types. One is the main bus, another is a transfer bus. Standby bus is a transfer bus. We can see later in with diagram. Now let us see one by one what is that thing. So here once again the location based on isolators. First is the bus side isolator, line side isolator, and last one is the transfer bus side isolator. Now you can see here what do you mean with the bus side isolator. Here this is a diagram, already you know this is a line diagram of any given substations. Now the whatever the incoming is coming, so here incoming coming from the left side and it is going to the load side. You can observe it is a double line the buses. So here see the now this is the first is the, you can see first one is we are going to learn the bus side isolator. It connected in the major buses for isolation purpose. Here this is a bus 1, this is a bus 2, this is a bus 3. Whatever the input entering, first this incoming is connected to this bus. For example, similar arrangements is connected here also and it is connected to this bus. For example, this is coming from the supply from Ramagundam. This is coming from the Nagarjunasagar supply. So two incoming feeders coming to our substations, and at the same time this bus also coming the electric supply from other generating stations. For example, you can use a KTPS, Kottagudem. So what is happening? 3 input supplies coming, 3 buses connected. So what will happen? So here similar arrangement, this bus is intended for this supply, this bus is intended for this supply, this bus is supplied by this intended, and all are connected. So through the one isolators here, bus isolators, separated by the bus isolators. So these isolators can be closed whenever we required, whether so first supply from NTPC and second one is a Nagarjunasagar and third one is a KTPS. So this incoming, so whether one is a standby, 2 can be operated, or 1 can be operated, 2 is a standby operation. At that condition, whatever the load here, so you can see, suppose similarly here connected the one PTR, similarly here going to connect the another PTR, Similarly, you are going to connect the another PTR. So, but feeders are different feeders. So, what is happening? So, this is a standby, this is a standby feeder. Now, only this feeder is Nagarjuna Sagar feeder is supplying the total energy. Then at that condition, what we do? The standby, opposition, then whatever the energy is given, it is given to this feeder, and it is given to this feeder, and it is given to the 3 feeders is covering. At that condition, I am going to use one isolator. Thus, that is isolator is placed in bus. So, that bus is known as a bus side isolator. Isolator which is placed in between the 2 separate buses. There is a bus coupler, we can say the bus coupler also. So, here I used this one. So, this type of the isolator is known as a bus side isolator. Now, coming to the another one. So, what is that one? Line side isolator. That may be line side, the incoming line. So, here incoming line is coming here. So, whatever the incoming line is coming here, what is the line is going here. So, I am used one isolator. Here also I can use the isolator. The isolator which is used in the incoming line and outgoing line, those are known as the line side isolator. It connected in the in and out feeders lines. That is known as a line. So, you can see this one, and this is the line side isolator. Now, coming to the another side isolator is a transfer bus side isolators. So, before going to the transfer bus side isolator, now you can observe one thing here. So, whatever the step down voltage from this one, it is connected to the one here. You can see that this is the main bus, and here is a transfer bus, that is a standby bus. Transfer bus is placed here. Now, this feeder is connected to the main bus. If anything happen, for example, in case of in main bus have something problem occurred, the total feeders are dark. Then at that condition, so we have to divert whatever the main bus supply to the transfer bus. Through how? So, here we used the one bus coupler circuit breaker, and at either side we connected the here and here connected the isolators. So, it is open, whatever the energy is given to the is connected to the transfer bus. Here I can use the one isolator, and this isolator is known as the transfer bus side isolator. Now, you can see here. So, this is the transfer bus side isolators. Now, bus coupler act as a protective equipment. Whatever the is connected the now is a bus, main bus is isolated, and a repair takes place during this process. During this period, the transfer bus will give the supply to the feeders. So, that is known as the transfer bus side isolator. What is that one? Stay connected by the major bus of a transformer. That is a different thing. Now, let us see this one with clearly how the physically presence in a substation by seeing the some circuit diagrams. Now, let us see the bus side isolator once again in circuit diagram. Now, here you can see the double bus system with bypass isolators. Now, here you can see this is two buses. This is a bus 1 and this is a bus 2. Now, bus 1 and bus 2 connected through CB and isolator and CT, and we using the bus coupler. Both are open, but so whenever we require, we can use the only one bus always. If any problem occurred in this one, then whatever the load that is transferred to second bus, so it is known as a transfer bus. So, here I used the bus, an isolator in the bus. So, it is known the bus isolator. So you can see the figure also, the bus and another bus is connected. In between we are connecting the one isolator. That isolator is known as the bus isolator. Two buses connected through isolator. Those isolator is known as the bus isolator. You can see the figure also, one practical figure. Here you can see the bus isolator. This is the one bus. You can see this is the one bus. Here similarly there is another bus. So two buses are connected through our isolators. So this type of the isolators is known as the bus isolators. I think you have some idea what is a bus isolator. That means nothing but isolator which is used in the bus coupler. We can say the bus between two buses. We are going to connect the one our isolator. Those isolator is known as the bus isolators. For clarity, you can see the another figure also. Here you can see it. So here the bus isolator. This is the one bus. Here this side is the one bus. Bus 1 and bus 2. In between I connected these two setting. This bus is, this post insulator is connected to this bus, and this post insulator is connected to this bus, and between I connected the center brake isolator. So whenever I required I can close it. Whenever I don't want, then it can open. This is known as a bus isolator. Now coming to the, after coming to the bus isolator, let us see the line side isolator, physically how it presents in substation. Let us see. Now once again you can see the line side isolators. So here line incoming, whatever the line is coming input, here coming line. So here I connected the one isolator. Those isolator is known as the line side isolator. So you can get the idea if you seeing in a practical way in substation. You can see this figure here. So this isolator, whatever the input coming through, you can see this is the tower input, this is the tower coming in. Here whatever the input is coming this side, it is connected, it is going to the inside. So through this our isolator. This isolator is known as the line side isolator. Then you can see the another figure also. Here is also same thing. So whatever the input is coming here from this side, and it is given to the this one, and it is going to the output this side. In between I used the double brake isolator. So this type of the isolator is known as the, it is a starting, at the starting up incoming line. So where I used this isolator, it is known as a line isolator. Similarly I can use this type of the isolator at the end also, which is the feeder is going out. So this type of the isolator is known as a line isolators. Now you can see another figure also. Here you can see what is happening. Here what are the feeder, so it is coming from outside. So you connected the R phase, Y phase and B phase, the line isolator. The isolator which is in series before going to the transfer PTR. So those isolator is known as the line isolator which is placed in the line. Those isolator is known as the line isolator. So you must remember that isolator cannot be operated separately. It should be operated with addition to conjunction with circuit breaker. That is everywhere you have to remember. Now coming to the another type of the bus bar system, that is the transfer bus bar system. Now so here, so you can see that one. So here main bus and transfer bus systems. Similarly, as you know that here, so this is the first one is this is the main bus. So here, so this is the main bus, you can see this is the main bus and this is the transfer bus. In between I am going to use one bus coupler, you can see here. Now what are the incoming feeders coming here? It is going to the outgoing feeders. So here I am going to use the, here is one isolator, here I am using the isolators. So what are the main load energy transferred to the transfer bus, at that place I am going to use the these isolators. This isolators is known as the transfer bus isolators. This is known as the one isolator generally used, that is known as the transfer bus isolators. I used this isolator in transfer bus, so it is called the transfer bus. This is a emergency purpose. Load shedding from one bus bar to other bus bar. I am going to use the, in addition to the bus coupler, I am also used the isolators. So those are known as the isolators. You can see in the figure. In substation, you can see the how it is connected. You can, these are the two isolators. Here this isolator, this one is, this is one common bus connected, and another bus may be connected this side, and one is a main bus, another is a transfer bus. Whatever the load, if problem occurred, that is transferred to the here, so through our isolators. This isolator is known as a transfer bus isolators. So you can see it. So these are the classification of isolators. So isolators, we are classified based on location. Whether isolator is placed in bus, we can say it is a bus isolator. If it is placed in input line, that is a line isolator. If it is placed in transfer bus isolator. So these are the some idea about the isolators. Now, so let us see some videos. So how we are going to physical, how the isolators is operated in the substation. So even after opening by using our circuit breaker, after that we are going to opening the under no load condition our isolators. But what will happen due to the line constants, charging effect, and there is a high sparks while it is closing and opening, that is the induction charges. So you can observe in physically in substations. Here you can see, here is how the isolators open at what is happening. So bus to bus, in between we placed the one isolator, that isolator is open. See here also, or the is a line isolators. You can see the line isolator, so line is opened, charging current. So how it is you can see this one, intensity of the charging currents. You can see here also the 400 kV voltage substation. Earth switch, now it is connected to the, you can see here how the V shape isolators is connecting. It is manually operating. Is connecting one bus to the another bus Here he placed the one isolator, and isolator is operated after circuit breaker is opened. Even then you can observe how the charging currents. Because there is a possibility of induction effects, so they are using the gloves. There is a center brake. Closed condition. Now it is a opening. You can see this is also closing position and opening position. They manually operating. Sometimes we can operate by using a motor also. So this thing you have to attend. Now you have some idea how these isolators are operated in different substations. Even then, after opening of circuit breaker, there is a charging currents. What are the effects and male and female contacts you are observed here. So while operating any isolator, you should remember that it is a very be careful. You have to ensure that circuit breaker is opened. After that you have to operate. This thing you have to remember. Now what are the applications of this thing? Now we have seen the different type of the isolators, where these isolators generally used in our power system and distribution system. Now let us see application of isolators. First one is it can isolate high voltage devices such as transformers, generators, capacitor banks, etc. So isolation purpose we are going to use these isolators. When a fault current in a substation, we can detach the faulty portion with isolator from healthy portion for repairs. If any fault occurred but automatically detected by our CTPT and relays, then that can be operated by our circuit breaker. Then we are going to attend some repairs. At that condition, we have to isolate the equipment both sides by using our isolator. So if you are observing, the gap between the male and female contacts in circuit breaker is very less. In between the dielectric media, acceptance gas or some other media presence, but we cannot see what inside, whether the contacts are closed or open physically. So if you are used in addition to circuit breaker, in case of isolators, when you are operating, automatically you can observe physically, oh, its circuit is opened. Then he get some idea, he get some confidence, the circuit is opened. Even then open, then there is a possible to induction voltages. So that can be diverted by using some earth rods. So that is another application is it's a physical operation will create a confidence on operator who is going to do maintenance work on a device. That is one another application. And next is there are protected with a locking system on external with a lock to stop accidental usage. So what is the mean? Here I am using this isolator with interlocking switch with earth switch. So whatever the charges in the line due to the induction, that is diverted to earth only after closing this isolator or opening isolator after circuit breaker is opened. So, that is the interlocking between isolator and earth switch and interlocking between circuit breaker and isolator. So, that is here going to some advantage by using this isolator. These are the few applications of isolators. Now, what is the isolator? How it will works? What are the classification of isolators? And based on different factors we have seen, and how these isolators helpful in our power system and distribution system we have seen in practically in substations also. What are the precautions, what are the effects of these isolators also we have seen. Now, these are the basic things of isolators. Let us do another switch is known as a low voltage and medium voltage switch is another family of the switch gear is a 11 kV AB switch, air brake switch. Let us see. Here you already observed in double pole structures 11 kV substation. Here you can see. So, what is this one? Have you remembered? So, in top one we are going to use, this is the top one, we are going to use lightning arresters and live conductors. After that we are used here, what is that one? Air brake switch. After that we are using the HG fuse set. After that we are going to use the input 11 kV and after that we are going to get the output 400 volts. So, here you can see easily this is a AB switch set, gang operating AB switch set. This can be operated 3 phases at a time by using this rod, gang operating rod, you can see here. So, this gang operating rod can be operated by vertically or horizontally. So, different mechanisms. So, this is a AB switch. Now, we are going to learn what is the AB switch, how it will works, what is the help of this one, what is the merits and demerits. Let us first of all, what do you mean by the air brake switch? What is the definition? The switch whose contacts open in the air and quenching of an arc achieved by atmospheric air pressure. Such type of switch is called an air brake switch. That means here, so before we have seen isolator can be operated under no load condition, but at any voltage, whereas AB switch is the reverse. It can be operated under low voltage, but it can be operated load condition also. So, if we know whenever the load is carrying a conductor, if suddenly opened, there is a possible to arc appear. This arc can be quenched by using atmospheric air pressure. So, such a way that we designed male and female contacts of AB switch terminals. At the time of the manufacture itself, it's what is the breaking and making contact capacity we decide. Based on the design, we are going to whether it is going to use in 11 kV or 33 kV. So, this is the things. Now, you can see that is a switch, air brake switch. Now, first definition, and next one is the air act as a dielectric media for the air brake switch. In this we are not using any type of the media, whether it is oil or we can not using the any air blast, we are not using the any SF gas, only natural air is a media to catch the arc, because here the arc is coming between the male and female contacts. So, can be easily nullified by using natural air. So, the arc can be quenched by the technique is by lengthening, by cooling. So, when it is opening, it is there is a we are using the different of the components. You can see here, by using these components we lengthening the arc. Once arc is lengthened, automatically it cooled. Once it's cooled, temperature losses, then automatically the self extinguishes. That is known as a air brake switch. The air brake, it is more effective and reliable as compared to other switches with oil as a dielectric media. Here we are not using any type of the media, but whereas if we are using the oil as a media, if oil may be contamination with water or carbon, then it work may be malfunction. Here we are not using any type of the oil, so we not bother anything. It's a automatically reliable system. And the air brake switch is operated manually when their handle is placed on a ground level. So last figure we have seen, it can be operated by using the manually from ground. So these are the thing. And what is the ranges of this voltage? So this type of the maximum voltage for the switches is up to 35 kV and rupturing capacity nearly 500 MVA. That means we can use AB switches up to HV system up to 33 kV, because our Indian voltage system is the LT voltage, HT voltage. LT voltage less than 1000 volts, HT voltage above 1000 volts. Now above 1000 volts we are going to use 33 kV one system and 11 kV one voltage and 33 kV another voltages. Next, sometimes we are going to use a 66 kV, sometimes we are going to use the regularly we are going to use the 132 kV, 220 kV, 400 kV and 765 kV. So here medium voltages is a 33 kV and 11 kV only. So here we are going to use the AB switches for closing and opening up our circuits. And at the same time you can see rupturing capacity is also very high. So here you can see the one single pole, that means R phase, Y phase, B phase, three pole. So you can see the one single pole, what how it is the physically figure. This is 11 kV single brake air brake switch. So here you can observe, and next one figure is their insulator is a double post type insulator, double used, and in this case so we can increase the voltage 11 kV to 33 kV. You can see this figure. And so latest we are going to use the, so these are the porcelain insulators, post type insulators, and so the pin type insulators here you can see it. This type of the insulators olden days we are using, latest we are using polymer type insulators. You can see that figure also. So here you can see the gang operating system 33 kV air brake switch. For the single you can see the 11 kV this figure, polymer, the composite silicon polymer AB switch, so made for medium voltages. Now how these are the classified? So now you have the some idea how this AB switch is in your real field. Now so what are the different types of the AB switches? The air brake switches classified based on different factors, whether it is operated only single pole, only R phase separate, Y phase separate, B phase separate, but we have to operate three phases simultaneously. So another is a gang operating air brake switch. So based on this one, so air brake switches are classified into two types mainly. One is a single pole air brake switch, another is the gang operated air brake switch. The single pole AB switch uses for opening of only one conductor, and whereas and for the opening of more than one conductor, that means Y phase, B phase, remaining two phases at a time, the gang operated AB switch is used. The switches which opened together are called the gang switches. The AB switches are installed in two ways, either in horizontal or vertically. It is placed on the pole top or in pad mounted metal enclosures. So that means So whether the moving contact is moving horizontally or vertically by mechanism, mechanical mechanism we are using to close the open the switches. These are the few salient points of AB switch. You can see the group 11 kV group gang operating switches. Here the making capacity nearly the 12,000 amperes. So here you can see this is a one phase, this is a one phase, this is another phase. For example, here is a outgoing feeders, here is a feeders, this is a incoming feeders, for example. So whatever the input comes, if the switch is open, here there is a rod, you can see here. So this mechanism can be operated by rotating. So we are going to open this one. So by operating mechanism here, whether the switch is moving in the vertically or horizontally, so it is classified in the two types, horizontally and vertically. So this operation also we can see in one video, don't worry. Now the air brake switches, what are the advantages? Air brake switch, the air brake switches has several advantages over the oil as an arc quenching media. Here we are using the atmospheric air. What are the advantages? They are generally elimination of risk and maintenance associated with the use of oil. Here we are not using any type of the oil. So this is the air, you can see the air, the atmosphere, air is surrounding the air, we are not using the oil. So there is no problem with the air particles or oil particles. The elimination of risk and maintenance associated with the use of oil. If you are using the oil, you require some maintenance because that should be airtight. If 5,000 liters of the oil in transformer oil, if you have dropped one drop of the water, that may be contaminated. Then the dielectric strength of the oil decreases. What to do? Once again we have to filter that oil by using the filters, oil filters. So here we are not using any oil, so there is no maintenance needed. That is the one advantages. Next, what is the another? The absence of mechanical stresses that is set up by the gas pressure and oil movement. Here we are not using any mechanical movement, gas or pneumatic or oil. So there is no problem. And the elimination of the cost of a regular oil replacement that arises due to a deterioration of the oil with a successive braking operation. We are not using any type of the oil. If your oil is used frequently, so repeated operation, there is what will happen? There is a arc is occurred. The arc, due to the arc, it has a high temperature. This high temperature is whatever the oil particles observed at this temperature decomposes. It creates the gas. At the same time, whatever the oil particles receives this high temperature, it becomes to the carbon components. And after repeated operation of this closing opening of air brake switches, then what will happen? The oil dielectric strength deteriorates, that carbon content increases. At one stage it malfunction takes place. So we have to once again filter the oil. Now in the air brake switches we are not using any type of the oil or any type of the dielectric media. So there is no maintenance required. That is the advantage of only simple air brake switch. Let us see the working and construction of air brake switch. These are the advantages. So what are the advantages we have seen? So here there is no risk of maintenance. We are not using any oil, no maintenance, no cost of oil, no replacement of the oil. These are the advantages. At the same time, there is no, we are not using any pressure or storage of the oil for mechanism purpose. So simple operation by manual operation we can operate it. Now, so what is its construction and working? Once again you can see it. So here you can see it. Now working and construction of an air brake switch. So what you can see this figure. So what are this one? So polymer AB switches, number of AB switches, its components. And the AB switch has both a blade and the contact furnished with a arcing arms. What do you mean by the arcing horns? You can see here figure. Arcing horns means here you can observe this is a arcing horn. This is a arcing horn. What is that one? Neat. The arcing horn is the type of metal between which the arc induces due to interrupt current. That means whenever the interruption takes place, whether it is a closed and open, so first the arc is between the two electrodes. You can see here. Here you can see. So this one arc horn, arcing horn. This is another arcing horn. In between the arc is developed. So when it is the opening, the spreading of this distance, then the same time arc also spreaded, lengthened. Once the arc is lengthened, then as per rule it has to cool. Once arc is cooled, it should be self quenched. So this is a basic idea of this thing. That thing you have to remember. Arcing horn is the type of metal between which the arc induces due to interrupt current. Now next, when the switch is open, if you are the open from the here you can see the for example this is a 1, here is a arcing horn, and this for example this is a male, here is a female, here female, it is also arcing horn. What is happening? So when the switch is open, it is a open, this is separated. So what will happen? Male is a operated, it is a fixed one, for example this is a fixed one, this is a moving one, male is a moving one by mechanism. Then while it is a operated, it is a separation takes place. When the switch is open, the arc spreads further and further apart, and the arc lengthens until it finally breaks. Wait, it is open, it is going this direction, it is going this direction, the gap between this is increases, then once increases, the arc also increases, lengthen takes place. Once it is lengthened, the cools takes place, then automatically it quenches. This is a mechanism used in air brake switch. You can see here. So these are the things you have to remember. What you have seen here, same thing is a diagram, the practical diagram you can see. So here this is a one electrode, what current is giving here. For example, here is a taking the air. So two elements. The current has to flow here. So what is happening? The whatever the current entering here is ready. When operated by this lever, then it is going to touch this one. Once it touches, what will happen? So this arcing horn, already this arcing horn. So this shape. So what will it do? While opening and closing, the arc is coming this direction, is flowing this direction. So that means there is a lengthening. Once lengthening, it automatically cools. That is the main aim of air brake switch. We are not only natural atmospheric pressure, air pressure is enough to quench the arc generated while operating these two terminals. You can see the next physical figure. Same, this is a diagram, this is a physical figure generally used in our medium voltage substations. I think you have some idea how it is operated, how the arc is raised and how the arc is nullified. Once again I am going to explain. So what is happening here, whenever this rod is going to touch this one, for example I want to open it, then by giving the signal and it try to move this direction, then this lever comes this direction and here is the fixed one, and what will happen? The horn will come this direction and there is the gap between the arc is developed in between this place. While it is going slowly this direction, then arc also develops more and more spread. Once it spreads, it contact to the air present nearby this arc, then automatically whatever the heat present in the arc is absorbed by the natural air. Once the arc collapse due to the losing of its temperature, then it may not be sustained further arcing. and automatically the arc is quenches. This is the operation of our AB switches. You can see our some videos also I am going to show you. So before that one, so how this is operated from ground, you can see this one. So as you already observed here, so we can operate from ground only, here from ground only. So by using this rod, gang operating rod, we can operate these isolators. This is incoming, this is the outgoing lines here. So it is connected to the HC fuses. From this is going to here placed, we are going to transformer. Now incoming and outgoing, in between we are going to use a AB switch. AB switch can be operated by using this one by here. How we are going to operate? The air brake switches are of several designs. Some switches operate from the ground by a holder on end of an insulator stick. By insulator stick we can operate. And next, some others are through a system of linkage and open by a crank at the foot of the pole. So we can two methods we can operate by simply, so by moving this one we can operate. These are the some salient points of AB switches. AB switch is a device, mechanical device. It can be operated under load condition, but it can be used in low voltage only up to 33 kV. Here we are not using any media to quench the arc. Whenever this switch is operated, there is a possibility to arc between the male and female contacts that can be nullified by natural atmospheric air. So whenever it is operated, so there is a stationary arcing horns presents male and female. When it is operated, the gap between this increases. Then due to this one, arc also spreads away. Then once arc spreads while operating, it is lengthening takes place. Once lengthened the arc, it automatically cooled by air present around the arc. Once arc is cooled, it may not be sustained further period and automatically quench next time, next seconds. That means it may not be maintain the arc continuously without minimum temperature. So this is one logic you have to remember that. Now let us see. So here, so let us see some videos regarding to the AB switches, how the AB switches can operate physically in live in our electrical field. Let us see.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, मैं हूं आदित्य और आज हम देखेंगे डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ट्रांसफार्मर को 11 केवी लाइन से एबी स्विच यानी गैंग ऑपरेटर स्विच के माध्यम से कैसे कनेक्ट और डिस्कनेक्ट किया जाता है। कृपया आप
This is a pole mounted substation.
तो शुरू करते हैं।
You can see it. This is a AB switches.
फ्रेंड्स, ट्रांसफार्मर को 11 केवी लाइन से डिस्कनेक्ट करने के लिए इस एबी स्विच हैंडल को नीचे की ओर खींचना पड़ता है और जब 11 केवी लाइन से ट्रांसफार्मर को कनेक्ट करना है तब इस एबी स्विच को ऊपर की ओर पुश करना पड़ता है।
Vertical movement here. You can see how it is operating. Yes.
फ्रेंड्स, ये है एबी स्विच यानी गैंग ऑपरेटर स्विच। आप देखिए इसे 11 केवी लाइन से किस तरह से कनेक्ट और डिस्कनेक्ट होता है।
Yes.
कनेक्ट और डिस्कनेक्ट होता है।
Open. Now this is a one. How the another one also. The AB switches. Simple. Central as post insulators is moving by the mechanism. arcing on, so you can see arcing, how the arcing ons generally made up the metal, the now you have seen the few live electrical field, how the AB switches is operating at that time, what are the precautions they are taking. Now after completion of this AB switches, now let us see another the interest and the latest switch is a load break switch. Let us see. So load break switch. So you can see here how the, so in low and medium voltage we can break the load. Then at what will happen? Whenever the load is braked, then arc will appear. That arc should be quenched quickly, otherwise it melt the two contacts, incoming and outgoing contacts. That purpose we are going to use the different medias, that may be oil to cool and suppress the arc. Sometimes we can use the gases, air blast, sometimes we can use the SF gas. So these medias can be used to quench the arc in our substations in a high voltage systems. But in case of the low voltage system, in case of medium voltage system, what are the load breaking switch? So how we are going to modify? So this is one of the switch generally used in big industries, where their load may be hundreds of amperes, can be quenched or isolated. At that condition the arc will come. Then how they are going to nullify? By using this break switch we can see one by one. Now so here you can example, this is the one 600 amperes General Electricals SU10 two fused load break switch that draw out the 5 kilovolts capacity, that means the voltage nearly 5 kV and current breaking capacity is a 60 kilo amperes. At the same time it also consists of 5.5 kV 250E fuse also. So these are the some thing. So load break switch, this is a new one. Now what is the function of load break switch? Let us see. So load break switch is nothing but, this is a load break switch, nothing but load break switch switches the current by mechanically moving their contacts with an appropriate speed in order to make or break the current. Here what you are observed in domestic, while switch on the fan. So what will happen? The switch, if you are observed, the making and opening, while you are closing the switch, while it opening switch, the switch will operate automatically very quickly. Have you seen any time inside what it has? It has a spring. That means always you have to remember that electrical switches should be operated very quickly, otherwise there is a possibility to arc takes place between the two contacts. Why? Already you have seen, when the switches are opened very slowly, that means so normal current flowing at 0 plus time, when current is flowing when 0 plus time, next few 1 second later, then directly the switch is opened. So during this period 0 plus time, the gap between the two contacts is very less. So once the current carrying conductor is choked, there is a possible to the gap between the two contacts, high voltage induces due to the chopping. That is voltage is known as very high. So we can say that is a rate of rise of recurring voltage. For example, for a 11 kV feeder, once it is going carrying some current, once suddenly you chopped, that voltage build up between the two contacts may be some number of times of 11 kV. So that high voltage easily ionized the whatever the presence between the two contacts, that is a very small air gap. That air presence in between the two contacts, ionization takes place. Once ionized path through which electrons will try to flow, continue its circuit. Once what will happen? These electrons collides the air particles, then there is a big arc takes place. That arc having the high temperature that may melt the two tips of contacts. So that to avoid, so we are going to use a different the quenching medias or quenching medias by splitters, by lengthening, by cooling, different methods are using. So in this case we are going to use the optimum materials. The arc can be nullified by using the different medias. We are going to place the arc, the breaking takes place within a chamber. So that is a difference. Just like, so what in case of the fuse, normal KitKat fuse, whenever the overload comes, the breaks, the melts and breaks, it will give the some arc. Whereas in case of the HRC fuse, whatever the load comes, breaks inside the ceramic material, and if ceramic material inside powder converted to the lead powder, that is act as a high resistive method to quench the arc. Just like here we are going to use a HRC fuse similar to HRC fuse. Here is a special designed to whatever the load we are going to quench in a special chamber in which we are going to place different type of the medias to quench the arc. This is one thing you have to remember. That is a load break switch means whenever the load is breaks takes place, then arc may occur. This how we are going to quench this arc is based on this one, the load break switch. In case of the high voltage system, we are using the circuit breakers. In low voltage system, we are going to use a load break switch. That is a difference. Now, what it is? It is exposed to mechanical and thermal and dielectric stresses during the switching operation, because this is we are going to do the work in a small chamber. Then automatically whenever the circuit is opened, whenever the circuit is closed, then the high stresses developed. What are the stresses? It may be mechanical, it may be thermal, it may be dielectric stresses may be raised during this operation. These stresses should be withstand the body which is you are going to make for the air brake switch. And generally these air brake switches operating voltages are nearly from 12 kV to 36 kV voltage. That is a medium voltage only. So these are the some salient points regarding to air load brake switch. So here you can just remember that MCB. So what is happening? Normal switches, when you are going to use the switches, there is a arc may be occurred inside the switch. If continuous arc may be occurred, the switch may be failed. That can be modified by using MCB, miniature circuit breaker. What is inside? It has a inside bimetallic strip. Some shooters are provided. That means the shooters, whatever the arc is erased during the opening and closing, the arc is entered in different cells, different portions. Once the solid arc is split into the different shooters, then shooters are made up the metallic parts, then automatically whatever the heat presence in the arc is absorbed by the shooters. At the same time the arc also lengthened by different shooters, then lengthening and cooling takes place, then automatically arc will nullify it. Comparing to the switch and our fuse, instead of fuse, KitKat fuse, we are using the HRC fuse. HRC fuse is the latest one. And switch, normal switch, instead of normal switch, we are going to use the MCBs. Now, instead of normal breaking the load by using the just like normal switches, for example, you can see this is a knife switches generally used in our laboratory, where the current can easily break and make by using the 15 amperes. But even then arc is erases. To avoid that one, we are going to use the medium, that is the load break switch. The load break switch is a special purpose device in which we are going to break the load. Here we can take the one example. So here These are the things already covered. Now you can see the general electric load break interrupter switch. So where these are nameplates, it will gives the some values. What are the values? The voltage 113 here 13,200 volts rated voltage, 13.2 kV, and its a maximum voltage 15.5 kV, and at the same time the current rating is nearly 600 amperes. So here it is giving some details. That means it can operated, it can chopped, it can opened the current which is carrying by the load 600 amperes. Voltage of nearly the minimum 13.2 kV, maximum 15.5 kV. So you can see the figure side how they are going to operate by the special mechanisms, but special the high voltage HRC fuses. We can see the this operation also in one or two videos. You can get the some idea. These are the things you have to remember. So here separate OR phase and Y phase and B phase separate chambers we are going to isolate. This is a break. So we are going to, while you are opening this one, so there is a possible to arc. This arc is going to nullify. How you are going to nullify? By using the different media in a small chamber. So that is known as the load break switch. So this is the one thing you have to remember. Now how the load break switch is worked, you can see here. So here this switch, load break switch, is accomplished by addition of extra equipment. So normally we are going to add the extra equipment to nullify arc. What to do? First one, increase the operating speed of the disconnect switch blade. Here we are going to use the blades, male and female blades, both are going to contact. The operation should be very fast. Whether it is a closing, opening, the speed should be increased by motor mechanism or spring mechanism. Second one, alter the arcing phenomena and allow the safe interruption of the arc resulting when switching load currents. That means here, so what we are going to modify existing system, here the operation should be very fast. By high level of springs we can use the whether closing time and opening time we can operate very quickly. That is the one thing. Once it is even then high speed operation, there is a possibility to arc may be appeared. That arc may be quenched by different methods. So here we are going to alter the arcing phenomena. Whatever the phenomena comes, the arc comes, we are going to nullify very quickly by using methods. So this is a modification of this one. You can see here, this is the thing, one load break switch generally used in practically in medium voltage systems. Here, so whatever the load R phase, Y phase, B phase, the interruption chamber inside, and here is the fuses are also provided. So this can be operated by the mechanism here. So whatever the R comes inside only, just like it is a nothing but in a high voltage circuit breakers, but it is used in 11 kV only up to low voltages. So this is a industrial purpose we are going to use this type of the load break switch. You can see another type of the switch also. This is also same thing. It is a closed chamber, R phase, Y phase, B phase. The total mechanism, you can see the spring mechanism to operate very quickly. So that is a thing you have to remember. At the same time, we can use some media to quench the arc, or we can provide some tutors for lengthening of the arc, and some media also used to increase the resistance between the two contacts. So you can see the one area, you will get some idea. Before that, so what are the application of this load break switch? So main application of this switch is nothing but, what is the work? It is used to de-energize or energize a circuit that possesses, what is possesses? Generally this type of the switches are used for interrupting of two dangerous currents. One is inrush, transformer inrush current, that is magnetic currents. Another is the line charging currents, capacitor currents. These are the both dangerous currents. that can be easily handled by this our load breaking switch. So that is the one thing you have to remember. That is, it is used to de-energize, open or energize a circuit that possesses one limited amount of magnetic current, such as transformer exciting current, inrush current, or if it consists of capacitive currents such as line charging currents. We can use this type of the load break switch. And next, it can be modified by adding more series interrupter for handle of high voltage and high current values. So we can use a step by step number of interrupters. So we are going to increase the capacity of interruption of high voltage and a high current also. That is the one thing. Next application is that these interrupters increase the load break capability of the disconnect switch and can be applied for switching load or fault currents of the associated equipment. So by providing the number of interrupter this thing, so we are going to use this thing. So these are the some examples, the applications of load break switch. Now let us see some videos regarding this one. Now what are the some videos? You can see how the this load break switch works in field, electrical field. Now you can see the how load break switch works.
Assemblies are contained in fully welded, hermetically sealed enclosures for environmental isolation. They are available in either painted carbon steel or stainless steel tanks with liquid or gas insulation for compact size. This example is a three-phase two-way, one-way switch
You can see the animation also.
with the tank, insulation, bushings, and buswork removed for clarity. Here we see the three-phase mechanism as an individual component. Removing the side panels allows us to see the inner workings.
Speed operation, you can see it.
Die spring-driven toggle moves the switch position bar between two welded steel stops. On the closing stroke, the switch position bar moves up on its two pivoting support legs, driving the contacts to the closed position, and moves down during the opening stroke to pull the contacts open. The slotted operating linkage allows the mechanism's operating speed to be independent of the external switch operating handle. Each of the three vacuum contacts is mounted in its own spring-loaded closing assembly.
You can see the gap.
Of the two coil springs, called the
Here this gap is.
provides a consistent
Now here spring also,
holding the
but
contacts
closing and opening time they are also
of the two springs,
charging.
called the opening spring, ensures an open contact in the unlikely event of an internal mechanical failure. In the closed position, built-in over-travel of the closing assembly ensures consistent spring pressure throughout a 10,000 operation life cycle.
The 10,000 operation can be operated by the spring. So you can see mechanism. Now you can see the this video. It will give the clarity how the load break switch can operated and why it is operated, where we are going to operate. So it gives some overall glance. Where it is used, what is the purpose, how to turn it on and off. To know, watch this video, you can get some idea. Now what is the load break switch? First of all, as the name suggests, it is a switch used for switching of medium voltage from 1000 volts to 33 kV. It is a replacement of the two-pole structure. It is also provide protection to the transformer, which two-pole structure cannot. Two-pole structure, you can say DP. So where you are going to use the AB switches. It is the costlier, space consuming, less capacity, no protection for transformer, difficult And two pole structure has more disadvantages, so let's replace it with a load break switch instead of this one. What is a load break switch? You can see this is a figure. It is a cheaper, safer, required less space, provide protective to the transformer, easy to switch this one. Now you can see how they are operating. This is a new one, handle to charge the spring. Spring has to charge. The charging springs here has a two on off buttons, green and red. So these are the switches, last class fuses. Last class we have seen high voltage charger fuses, protection purpose. So heaters to keep the inside temperature constant. Earth switch with interlocks, which gives additional safety to personnel. Spring charge indication. They are available for indoor as well as outdoor applications also. Where it is used? It is used before the transformer for medium voltage system, that is 1000 to 33 kV voltage only. What is the purpose? Its purpose is to switch the supply safely, provide protection to transformer. How to turn it on and off? Step 1, charge the spring. Now he is going to charging spring, you can see. So once it's charged, it will give the indication. You can see the charged red button. Step 2, open the earth switch and press the button. So now it is closing the switch. Once closed, now you can see discharge, spring discharged and switch is on. And the indicators also load on. Make sure you don't touch any live pot. Step 3, press the red button to turn off. So now it is going to turn off. Once again it is turned off. Discharge spring. Now let's see how contacts gets closed and open the back side. These are the contacts. So it's a open, closed position. So this is a mechanism. Now this is a thing you have to remember. Here also you can see the another one video. It will give us some idea on how load break switch operated in industry low voltage system. Then you can see here 3 limbs, R phase, Y phase, B phase. So 3 limbs are provided. So now the switch is opened. So totally the electronic instruments that are used to control everything, spring charge and everything. So these are like this one, you can see this one. Closing, opening. Now coming to our topic. Now you have seen different types of load break switches. So different companies are manufactured based on how they are going to quench the arc. The basic thing is by high resistance method, low resistance method. In high resistance method, we are going to by lengthening the arc, by cooling the arc, we can quench the arc. Based on these two principles, they are going, different companies are going to doing the manufacturing different load break switches. So these are the things we are going to remember. Now, so let us conclude what we have learned today class. Now, summarize. In this period, we have learnt about classification of isolators based on location. So, it may be based on the location, it may be the bus bar. This is isolators can be placed at the input side, that is a line bus bars. If we are placed in the bus isolators. If we are placed in transfer bus isolators. And introduction to AB switch. How the AB switch works, what voltage it is going to operate, what is its main parts, how arc will develops, how it is natural quenched by itself, and what are the different of the AB switches and how they can be operated, we have seen. And operation of AB switch already we have seen. Now, introduction of load break switch and its operation also we have seen. Some salient points we have seen. At the same time, we have seen some operation in industrial field. So, these are the some idea how our electrical energy is operated, controlled by using our switchgear and protection system in low and medium voltage systems. So, these are the switchgear and protective systems. Now, we have seen the fuses, how we are going to control the overload and short circuit by using the switch, how we are going to use the isolators, how we are going to use the AB switches, how we are going to use the load break switches in low and medium voltage systems. Later, next we will go to the high voltage systems, how we are going to operate this current. So, let us do next class. Thank you for watching this class.